Hi, how's it going? This is the JSKP log. So this is going to be a new little weekly log I've decided to do for this new year. I kind of wanted it to be about a reflection of my past week on what's happened, what I think I could have done better, what I'm looking forward to, anything that's changed. And I kind of just want to document it each week at the end of each week and upload it onto YouTube just as a little fun experiment thing. It's not exactly, you might think, because it's at the start of the year, it's a New Year's resolution, but that's not really what this is. It's kind of part of it, but it's not exactly a New Year's resolution. And sorry for the mic just in, it's a bit loud. Because I'm gonna do these all in one take. No editing, just straight record, finish, upload. Yeah, it's just gonna be straight one take. I don't know how long they're gonna be. They might be 5 minute episodes, 5 minute logs, 10 minute logs, half an hour logs. I'm not sure. That's just kind of how I'm feeling for this week. But talking about the new year and New Year's resolutions, I know a lot of people make one or a few resolutions and they like go to the gym or I want to read 10 books. I want to do these things. And it's very quantifiable. Like, there's a goal. Once you finish it, you finished it. It's kind of set in stone, kind of. Like, if you go to the gym, your goal is to go to the gym 3 times a week. And, or you go to the gym every day or exercise every day. So you've got a quantifiable measure of like, have I achieved my goal for this week, for my resolution? But I feel like those things are quite demotivating in a way because once you miss a week, you miss a day of your exercise or your gym session, you kind of feel demotivated for the next day or for the next week. Like, oh, I missed it. What am I gonna do? What's the point? What's the point of this now? I missed my goal. I failed. And then you might quit for a week or two and be like, oh, I should go back. I should do it again. So you go back for a week, then you kind of feel like you're an imposter, like you're doing it just for, I don't know, not for the right reasons. Like you're not doing it for better yourself. You're doing it just to achieve some statistical goal. Whereas I thought about it. It's already a week, nearly a week since the start of the new year. But I was thinking about that. I was like, what about a different kind of goal? And I came up with two. They're not statistical or like analytical, like you can quantify them. Like I've done it, I've achieved it. But I made two. My first one is just to be more transparent. Well, technically, my goal is transparency. And I'm using this in the way in some countries they use like, especially like, I don't know if it's still in China, but in like in Japan, they have this whole system at the start of the year. You choose a word or a Chinese character, a kanji, that has a meaning, and that's going to be what you want to achieve for this year or how you want your year to play out. And I kind of went off of that idea and chose, yeah, transparency is my first one, to be more transparent. And you might think, what do you mean by that? I'm meaning transparency in the way where I want to be more transparent with myself. I don't want to hide behind anything. I don't want to give myself excuses. I don't want to do these things. It's not about being hard on myself. It's more about looking through the flaws and actually seeing and deciding what I'm meant to do and actually looking at what I want to achieve and not sugarcoating anything and not setting too high expectations and being honest with myself, not over exaggerating. I just want to, you know, have that transparency that you would want with your family or your friends, your close friends. Like, you want them to trust you. And I think a lot of us in these days, especially now with everything that's going on in the world, it's kind of hard to be honest with yourself. Like, you say everything's going to be fine, everything's going to be okay. The world is, it's only going to be a couple of months. These new wars that are starting, all these things that's happening. But I feel like, especially for myself, I usually just looked at those things and was like, these are bad. I know they're bad. And then I'm not taking any action towards them. Like for myself, like last year I wanted to do more cooking because I just usually just bought something pre-made or ate out. And I did start cooking, but it wasn't as much as I wanted. And I wasn't transparent with myself saying, hey, look, yeah, it's difficult to cook, but to save money, to be more healthy, this is what you need to do. You need to actually start prioritizing yourself and cook more and learn some new skills that can be beneficial for the future. And I told myself those things, but I just put a wall up. And it's not even transparent, it was opaque. It's a solid wall telling myself, nah, you'll be fine. It's you'll eat out or you buy something maybe 3, 4 times a week. Then it ends up being the whole week I don't cook. And it's just not like stuff with cooking. It's just life in general. Not meeting the expectations that you want to do, like the targets you want to hit. And I think being more transparent with myself and, you know, really sitting down with who I am and wanting to actually better myself as you would a close friend. Because you're hard on your friends, you're hard on your family, you're honest with them, but it's hard to be honest with yourself. And I wanted to bring down those walls and really just have some transparency with what's going on in my life. And that's one, transparency. I know it's hard to explain, but that is my first resolution. And my second one is kind of to do with what I just talked about. My second resolution is perseverance. And you might be thinking, what do you mean by that? Perseverance through the tough times. Perseverance when I tell myself, I'll be alright. You can just not do this thing for this one day. And actually having some discipline, sitting down and doing what I need to do rather than putting something off. Having perseverance and fortitude. Because there are a lot of things I started last year and I just didn't push through. Um, it's not that I was weak or didn't want to do it. There's more motivation, honestly, and there's a lot of demotivation last year. A lot of depressive thoughts. Um, so I know there's times you need to take care of yourself, you need to take breaks, you need to take risks, but persevering and setting disciplinary objectives, like say I want to do these things, or there are things I have to do in life. It's not like I'm setting a goal or a target. There are things that I have to do, and putting them off is not the right thing to do. Just getting them done straight away and persevering through my own demotivation, persevering through my own procrastination, and just actually getting things done. And I think that's where both these goals really shine together, is that I really need to be transparent with myself to be able to persevere. I need to be honest and really look at what I'm doing and what I'm thinking, and finding not the motivation, but the discipline to spend that 5 extra minutes doing some kind of study or skill up, and then having another 5 minutes where I can do something else. And it's not just sitting there for, hey, I want to sit here for an hour. I need to exercise for half an hour a day. It's going, hey, you're not doing anything right now. Let's do 5 push-ups. Let's do 5 sit-ups, and let's do 5 squats. Just boom, 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 get it done, and let's move on to the next thing. And then eventually it'll just become a habit where it's not 5 I'm doing, it's 30, it's 60. And I'm just doing it because it became a habit, and it's not a chore anymore, because I'm taking those slow steps and persevering through these small barriers I'm setting for myself, and just bringing them down brick by brick instead of trying to sledge them down with a sledgehammer that I don't own. So those are my 2 goals for this year. Um, and I think it's something worth a try for yourselves. It's definitely look at goals that aren't quantifiable and think of a word or a trait that you want to lean more into, and really, I don't know how to explain this. Strive towards it. Strive to make that one of your key traits that define you. I want to be someone that when, let's say, if I have a child, a kid looks at me, my kid looks at me and says, wow, he's really honest with himself, and he pushes through the hard times or pushes through these small barriers to actually achieve what he needs to do. And he's honest with himself. He's honest with me. He's honest with our family. And I want to be one of those people, a good role model that sticks to what I want to, what, if I say this is who I am, and that's who I want to be. And I really think that's really important. So yeah, that's the New Resolutions. That's one day. This log is meant to be about the past week. Yeah, looking back on this last week. Sorry, I moved away from the mic a bit there. Sorry. Yeah, looking back this past week, it's been tough actually. There's been a bit of a stressful situation going on in my life. I'm also going to try and keep things a little bit vague in this log, in these logs, just so I don't give away too much information. Yeah, there's been some struggles going on with the past week. A lot of stressful information I've learned about someone close to me that is really, it doesn't just affect them, it affects both of us. And it's really taken a toll on what I thought I wanted. Like, moving forward, I want a few things, but I'm not sure if they're the right things. And the situation that's affecting us really put into perspective of, do I really want to be with them? Or do I really want to do these things with them? But I've only got a couple of days to really see what's actually gonna happen. And I don't know. I don't know what's really gonna occur. Yeah. And it really has made me think on like, is this the place I want to be? Do I want to leave this situation? Do I want to leave this physical place? Do I want to move out, find something more tangible and more, something with more of a solid foundation where I'm not sharing with an extra person? Like, when you want those solid foundations, a place to stand, a place to call your own, it's nice to share with people you love, but at the same time, you need a foundation which is for yourself and something that they don't pull other people into. Like, you want to share your foundation, you want to share your core with someone else. However, if they bring other things onto it, baggage, other people, it doesn't become yours anymore. Your own, something that's meant to be sacred to you, they kind of, that kind of ruins it. In a religious, no, I'm not religious, but in like a religious standpoint, it's kind of, this is your sanctuary, and they commit a kind of sacrilege by defacing it, by not respecting that this is your foundation, that this is yours and it's not theirs. Yes, you're inviting them in, you're sharing with them, but at the end of the day, this is your home. This is where you're meant to come back to when you're feeling alone and where you're feeling sad, and you're sharing it with them. And if they deface it, like, I don't know what you're meant to do. But that's one of the things that's been on this week. A little bit of struggle. I don't think that anything bad's going to come from it. But as right now, it's 60%. I'm like, it's going to be fine. 40% of me is just a bit stressed out on like, what's going to happen? Is this really the situation that's going to occur? And yeah, it's the bad things. I don't think it was bad. It's kind of stressful, a little bit hard. But on good notes, I've kind of found my place back to not exactly hobbies, but things I used to enjoy. I've kind of got back into them. Um, I'm gonna look to go do something I started a year and a bit ago, where I want to lean back into when I have more time. But I'm just trying to find the space where I can do that. Um, it's not exactly something that's viable when you're busy, because it does take up a bit of time. But it is a hobby that I want to get back into. There's a lot of hobbies that I've restarted this week that I'm actually not fully restarted, but planning to take some time to sit down and do again. Such as like, I want to get more into my music. I enjoy playing guitar. I enjoy listening to music. I enjoy like being a part of it. That kind of cultural aspect of our lives. Another one, I want to continue to skill up into some IT sides of things, some programming and things like that, and read up more about what's going on in our world digitally. Because I feel like as I'm getting older, I'm turning into the older generation that we looked at when we were younger, saying, well, they don't know anything about what's going on right now. I kind of want to make sure I'm keeping up to date with new technologies, new information that's coming out. And I feel like it's just a natural part of getting older, is where we tend to keep pushing back into what we know. And like, you see that with a new resurgence, the resurgence of the post-hardcore rock music, old rock music, is there's a lot of concerts that are going on right now, And a lot of people are really leaning into those aspects of our lives that we kind of gave up 10 years ago, 10, 20 years ago. And I want to just, yeah, make sure we're up to date. And what else? I've been back into games as well. It's another hobby that I'm really interested in is games. One big part for me is I love game design. Designing aspects of games, designing systems is a lot of fun for me. And I want to pursue that, not just as a hobby, but maybe if there is time in the future as a career. I have a few games in not development exactly, but in design stage, where I have a card game, I have some multiplayer games that really lean into, I use that word lean into a lot. It really leans into the social aspects that we're missing in life right now. I feel like the whole dead internet theory, all these things that are pushing us away from each other. I want to counter that and bring us back to where we are sitting down with friends and family and new people and sharing these experiences. I know it's been physical games, but also digital. Digitally, there are a lot of aspects of digital games now where they're pushing you away from the social aspects. For example, League of Legends, a lot of chat is being filtered and monitored, and it's pushing you away from those free speech kind of aspects of the game. World of Warcraft, where once you had to go around find people to join up with to complete tasks, to complete quests, to complete dungeons. But now it's just click two buttons, you're in a group, you don't need to chat. You just get it done, you get out. It's not, yeah, it's fun. Game aspect is fun, but I think a lot of people go into those games for social reasons. And as I'm living away from home, I'm living far away from home. I miss social interaction with people that share interests, and it's hard. It is hard when you don't have that anymore. So yeah, those are the things that have been happening in the past week. And yeah, I wanna I wanna do this where I upload at the end of every week on yeah how my week has been, what has happened, what I'm looking forward to in the future. And this is just a quick first shot. Let's see how it goes. Pilot episode. It's not really a pilot episode. It's just gonna be yeah. This is what it is. Talking about my life in a vague aspect. Some of the more personal things are gonna be a bit more vague, just to keep privacy for myself. Um, but yeah, I want to get this out every week, every Sunday. It's gonna be I don't know what time. It's gonna be like we look at Pacific time, Oceania, more on an Oceania late night Sunday schedule where I'm gonna be uploading it. Um, maybe in the future I'll start another series with people that I can talk with about certain topics or podcasty style of things. But for now, I want to get these episodes out once a week, talking about my past week, my motivations for the future, for the following week, and yeah, things I think I did well. I didn't lean into the future things or the things I did well this week because I wanted to talk about my resolutions for this year, which is a bigger overall arching motivation for the future. But yeah, we're gonna get these things done. Transparency, perseverance, kick ass, be true to myself. That is the goal that we need to achieve. So thank you guys for listening. Appreciate you and have a good week. See you next week.